Welcome back to Year in Review. We'll be briefly talking about the games I did not get a chance to cover. This is hardly what I would call a first impressions video, and it is definitely not a review, so please take my opinions here with a grain of salt. I have not played these games very long. With that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so Skellboy Refractured came out on the Switch in 2020, but it got a remaster, a special edition, so to speak, on the PC, which includes a local multiplayer mode, a brand new randomized dungeon, a new game plus mode, and some extra items. Now, the game has a very appealing aesthetic, as you'll see. It's got the nice voxel style, but it's in 3D. And you know, the voxel style has kind of been overdone as of late, but I feel that this game is colorful enough that it can pull it off, and it's got all kinds of interesting designs for just about everything. Enemies, terrain, environments. It really switches everything up here consistently. The only problem with this game I have, and it's the biggest problem, is that the game is just too repetitive, unfortunately. It's got a nice little co-op mode, which might alleviate some of the tedium playing it with someone else and kind of getting distracted talking to them, but, you know, that's not really a credit towards the game. It's more of a credit towards, you know, what kind of friends do you have? The game has a very lifeless combat system from the little I've played. The combat is just very dull. It's when you're swinging your sword, there's no weight behind it, and you just don't feel that feedback. It just feels really, really loose, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because the game has a lot of variety in its environments, it seems. When I was playing for the, hour or so I was into it, I got into, like, this cool little swamp area, and the whole area just changed. This deep, dank swamp area that, I kind of like that. And from the trailer I'm seeing, it's got a lot more for the environments, but the combat just feels so lifeless, at least in the first hour or so. And that's ultimately what's putting me off and why I don't want to play it anymore. There's more to it than that. There's repetition in the music. I feel like I've just heard the same track for most of the game so far. It's just really annoying. The game has, like, some charm beyond the art style. It's got some humor to it, but it's nothing to write home about, really. It's just ultimately the combat really ruins it for me. And unfortunately, I can't really get back into it because I'm going to have to play the first hour or so again, because I lost my save, because the game doesn't support Steam Cloud, which is unfortunate. The game has some interesting elements to it beyond just aesthetic. I do like the armor system, and it's kind of like an RPG system, and, it ties into the aesthetic where you can have all these different pieces on you, so you can look like a zombie, clown, princess, or whatever. It's kind of funny. Again, the game's sense of humor is alright, but for your money, $20, there's a billion other action RPGs on the market that will do this better, and I'm just, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling this one. Although, I didn't really hate it when I was playing it, so might be for you if you're into the aesthetic, you're into the co-op aspect, and you got some, like, young kids, you want to play it with them. This is easy to pick up and play. Otherwise, can't really recommend it. Just a little bit too simplistic for my taste. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. I'm out.